It's showtime.
Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix and joining me is Rapid, and you're joining us for the fourth game between SouL and Red here in the round 2 playoffs.
Yeah, that's right, Kix. Somewhat anticlimactically, SouL has gone through and just straight up crushed. Wasn't, totally dominant or without, a little bit of back and
Yeah.
forth, but suffice it to say, a 3-0 is still a 3-0, and SouL did look very, very strong in their matchup against, one of the best performing teams statistically in STPL in Red.
Yeah, now one little bit of statistic that people may not know is Red did finish round 1 or round 2 even with a 6-0 match win, so they didn't lose a single match. But in Group B, SouL did the same. They actually went 5-0 as well. So both of these teams were kind of on a they were on a perfect run, and it had to end for one of them here, and it did unfortunately end for Red.
Yeah, really close to. Maybe not in the scoreline, right? But over the course of the seasons, they both had incredibly strong records. So
Yeah.
I actually didn't know who was going to come out on top, but I think it does make sense when you see the roster that SouL brought to the table here. I mean, SouL does have actual Korean pro gamers or ex-pro gamers on its lineup.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the lineup right below that with some very, very strong performing amateur Korean players. So we talked about one of them, Spire, in the last one, and now we get a chance to see kind of his compatriot on SouL, another very strong up-and-coming Korean player. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce them.
Yep, so that up-and-coming Korean player is going to be nOOB, in a kind of ironic name. He's not a noob, he's actually pretty good. He went 5 for 1 in round 2, is 3 for 1 against his opponent's race now. nOOB unfortunately did miss his his week 7 game for SouL, because he was taken back for his mandatory military service checkup, but he's back out of the military again, he's back playing. I know I don't believe he streams, but he does appear in the Havangi tournaments, the Shanty runs, and of course right here in the STPL.
That is true, and just like Richley and Spire, nOOB is another player who has beaten Cadenzi in Have At You, but also I believe is somebody that she has beaten before as well. So a little bit back and forth, but kind of a whole kind of rogues gallery of people with that in common. Maybe there could be some tournaments he would have some success in. We've got KSL qualifiers coming up, and ASL qualifiers potentially soon, not too far thereafter. But KSL qualifiers are the really big tournament coming up. But I'm really excited to see up-and-coming players like nOOB, who's out here, who is Korean. By Spire did very well in the last qualifiers, but the real guy I was watching was HMARNC or Arnak, who is kind of a contemporary of these players who did very, very well. So any of the Korean players that you see playing here on SouL, you actually might be seeing playing in KSL or ASL, because they are still very, very good, and they are going to all these qualifiers trying to make it. So this may not be the last place you see them, or in upcoming Have At Yous or what have you.
Yeah, not only that, his opponent is himself Korean as well, the Korean Terran LasT. Now, just to confirm, this isn't the LasT that used to play for STX SouL. The winner, actually, that's possibly too early for a spoiler, but avert your ears. He did win the KSL, but still, this is a different LasT. Korean, all the same though. He has done a great job in the SCPL as well. Did used to play on SK Alpha, but when they folded at the end of, in the middle of round 1, he did switch over to Red, jumped on that bandwagon, and he has done an insane job for them so far. And he is going to be up here against a PBT god in nOOB, and they're going to be fighting on Triathlon.
Yeah, that's right, Kix. Triathlon, of course, a a 3-player map. I just thought about how funny it would be to make a map called like Duo or Quattro and have it have a different number of bases than the name of the number in the name. That would I would love to see that happen. But no, this
Yeah.
is Triathlon because it is a 3-player map. And it is one of the more unique ones because it does have the cloaked lurker eggs that are all around it. And we did confirm that this is an updated version of the map where you cannot mind control the arbiters and get their upgrades as well.
Yeah, so not only that, but there is that in-base natural that you can take behind the eggs. You know, you can get that by glitching some workers through using the gas. I could see that, especially here in a PBT. This is a very cool map for PBT as well. There was a crazy game on here between Hire and Free back in the PD Pop MSL 2010 where this map is from. So let's hope we can get another epic game here as we move into our 4th game of the series between SouL and Red. It's nOOB versus LasT. PBT, let's go. And starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position for Red in the teal, it's going to be LasT.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. In the blue, this is the Protoss player nOOB playing for SouL.
Yeah, now just in case you weren't sure if they were both Korean, there they are, both talking in Korean. Now, one thing that I've been quite happy about with the STPL is it's a global tournament, so there's players from all over the world. There's 3 or 4 teams with some Koreans on as well. We've got some amateur Koreans, we even have some pro Koreans as well, like Shuttle Best of Mine on White Clan. Now they don't send them out every week, they want to give their whole roster a chance to play. But they're in the final, so we could see them in the final lineups against nOOB. Not too sure yet.
If I'm not mistaken, they were asking each other which location they were going to scout first. Just playing like dumb mind games with each other. I don't understand the rest of it, but
that's actually kind of cool.
Hailing frequency.
Oh, something they're talking about the teams that they're on because it's okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out. Understanding Korean banter, especially if they're allowed to type. Sometimes in some of the fun online tournaments that a lot of the streamers play in out here,
Yeah.
they are allowed to type during it, and it actually gets really cool banter between them. And I know as a member of the UK, you appreciate some banter of your own kicks.
Yeah, we do. Now, thank you, a huge thank you to Sihi who did host for 75 viewers. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the STPL Round 2 third, 4th place match. Round 3, we're following this up soon after, and the finals between NetWars and White Clan will be on Friday, so that should be a lot of fun. But you're watching the 4th game here in this best of 5 between SouL and Red. It's going to be LasT versus nOOB. Now, looks like LasT is going to go for that very easy wall off, which you can get on this map with a single depot and the racks. Meanwhile, we have nOOB going for a very standard gate into core.
Yeah, so that is very standard, and it should be noted that, you know, for a Protoss player, if you're playing PvP, then getting a base is a luxury. But also against Terran players, if you go for too early of an expand and you get scouted first, that can really be a liability as well. So you never want to go for something like 12 Nexus, otherwise, as you and I know, Kicks, from casting STPL this round, that's just asking to get bunker rushed,
Yeah.
and really lots of pain coming into your future. So correct scouting direction by LasT. You will know exactly what to expect here, and might have been able to kind of guess that by the way the probe came in, but probably he didn't see it, so I wouldn't actually expect that. Regardless, it is going to be an earlier expand from our Terran player, and so we'll see if maybe nOOB is able to punish him by staying on one base.
Yeah, now we saw LasT pulling an extra SCV immediately. He doesn't want to get cannon rushed or something behind here. I know he can just cancel the command center, but that's a big deal. A lot of his early build was put into getting those minerals. It delayed his gas. It's going to delay his factory a long time. Now, the one thing that we do have going for LasT, he does have that wall at the front, but that's really annoying to try and repair, and nOOB is just doing a great job with his demon probe here. This is so annoying for LasT to have to deal with.
Oh, it's actually the worst, and especially since you don't want to have to bring like another SCV over here. At that point, one probe is occupying the time of 3 workers. So He's just gonna have some mutual repair, just throwing it up. Oh no, he's gonna lose an SCV here.
Oh no.
Yep, there it is. Probe with a kill. Wow, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, now the funny thing is the probe, oh, I can get out, of course he can use his main minerals, but here we go, we got the first Dragoon out on the front, but this probe's certainly worth its weight in gold. He could even go for a mana pylon here. He is saving up for a Nexus, he has built it here at the natural, but he's still got a lot of options open for him, and LasT could lose another SCV. Oh, and he does!
No. Oh my god, 2 SCVs with 1 probe.
Oh, and he's going to lose
Get
another one.
Get out of here.
This is so difficult for LasT to deal with. I've been in this situation so many times, and it feels terrible. You're losing so much to the probe at the front of your base. You can't properly repair your wall, and because you've gone for a fast expand, your tanks, your factories are so late. And I mean, he's not pulling the right amount of SCVs to try and deal with this. Now, the funny thing he can do is maybe evacuate into that back base behind the eggs, but he's going to be in a lot of trouble here if this wall goes down.
I mean, the problem is, so he's building both machine shops at exactly the same time. This push is catching him in macro mode when he realistically doesn't have anything. And so the correct response to this is to let things go at the front door and try to pull back as many Marines as you can, try to just group them up, and then desperately fight until your first few mech units come out. And you know, eventually maybe you can come out with 2 tanks and you push this back, but you've just got you've lost so much economy, and yeah, these SCVs getting picked off. Thankfully they did repair the bunker quite a bit, but this is just too much damage to take.
Yeah, he's taking so much damage. I mean, he does have the luxury of having that second base, so his SCV count not as low as it could be, but he is very far behind. Robo coming up behind this as well. And I mean, LasT is being shown the power of technology here. Range Goon's doing a lot, but here we go. The first tank is out now. LasT does have a chance to hold. He did keep that wall up for a very long time. And if he can get enough tanks, maybe he can stave this off for now. But
yeah, second tank is really good. Second tank is going to be the end of this push unless nOOB tries to dive on him or fight from the from the low ground. That would be ill-advised. So I think the best thing to do is set up a soft contain. And you're right, LasT did lose a lot of SCVs, but he does have those, you know, twice the number of bases to rebuild. Now, on the other side, and he might kind of figure this out, either nOOB is going for like a Reaver drop strat, which would kind of kill him, or he's got another base of his own up. And I think having this extra base is kind of, and even a third on the way, is really the biggest advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard for LasT to actually push out. He doesn't know what his opponent's doing. I don't even believe he has an academy yet. He's not been able to afford anything for the longest time. And as far as LasT is aware, he is about to die to a Reaver or a DT or something. There's absolutely nothing he could do to either. I mean, luckily enough for him, he's only going to have to deal with a shuttle, but there's going to be Zealots in that. We could see a little bit of a Bulldog play coming in for nOOB. And there we go, you can see the Arbiter's taken down. So you can see those cloaked lurker eggs finally free, but nOOB is going for a 4th base as well. He is doing the best he can to just get more ahead, as Artosis would say, and there's nothing LasT can do to punish this.
Yeah, exactly. This is just the best thing you can do. Just keep getting ahead, play greedily. You can basically do whatever you want because you know the limitations of what your opponent has. They have to reproduce a ton of workers. They have to stabilize their economy, rebuild, make sure that their base is, you know, the way they need it to. They have to prepare for all the things that you're not doing because they have to. They have no information. Yeah. And so the best way to get information is going to be from scanners. So you're going to see those comsats come down here probably pretty soon.
Yeah, but the thing is he going to even need to live that, or is he even going to live that long to make use of them? He does do a good job pulling back his tanks from those Zealots, so not going to lose them straight away. I know if I was in this position, I probably would be dead long ago. So LasT is doing a pretty good job staying in here. He's forced to pull his tanks around. He does not know if there's a Reaver in that shuttle or not. And this is going to be the big moment. Is he going to pull his SCVs away? He is. He's scared of a Reaver. But not only a Reaver, just 3 Zealots in this shuttle are enough to kill those SCVs as well. So he's in a very bad position still.
Yeah, shutting down really one of the only advantages of that fast expansion. The fast expansion, you know? So this is just going from bad to worse for LasT. Maybe he, rebuilds his SCB losses, but he hasn't built anything else. He's got what, 4 tanks or 6 tanks with siege mode, 2 vultures, and that's it.
Yeah, and he's going to be up against a hell of a lot of Dragoons going for his ramp. We can see that wall coming into play once again. A little bit of a misclick by LasT as he does hit his own barracks, but he's only got a few siege tanks, and it's going to be so difficult to hold against those zealots, but he somehow does manage to do it. And this is going to force nOOB back. This is a lot of tanks to be dealing with.
That is a lot of tanks, but I mean, realistically, when you're pumping off 4 bases, let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, going up to a 5th gateway. Okay, maybe this is a little bit too greedy by nOOB. He doesn't really have a whole lot of infrastructure. He's throwing down a bunch of gateways right now, but it'll take another minute and a half for this to really kick in. And so if LasT wants to push out right now, maybe he can make it. That's already a full control group of 12 Dragoons right outside his base, so that is hard to break through.
Yeah, and we can see that nOOB is LasT is finally scanning nOOB. He sees a cannon coming up at the natural here of nOOB. Of course, nOOB knows that the only way he can fall behind now is if he gets harassed to hell. He does know that there's no Starport at least, but he has to be careful. Vultures can be very slippery. Looks like LasT is doing his best to try and build some Goliaths to help against any further shuttles. But little does LasT know there's going to be a 5th, 6th base even coming up at this other main.
6 bases, or maybe not 6 bases, but like just wait, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. Yeah, still the same as always. Oh my God, Kicks. What do you do? Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this? You're contained on 2 bases. How do you make it out?
That's literally every TVP. But yeah,
hitting a little bit close to home there.
Yeah, TVP a little bit hard at the lower levels, of course. But one thing that we may see LasT go for is he's going to turtle up for as long as humanly possible. He's going for +1 attack. We should see he's going to go up 6 factories as well. Now, one thing to note is, of course, Terran does need more bases than this. They need more gas. But a maxed out Terran army is a very strong sight to behold, and he is going to move out and take his 3rd base.
Well, he will try, right? So
yeah.
You're right about the maxed out Terran army being very strong, but currently LasT has no upgrades right now, so it's gonna be a long time until that. And yeah, here comes the storm drop in. All these SCVs that just got rebuilt, I don't know if they'll be alive for very much longer. There's one, two, that second money storm. That's really the one that did it. I didn't catch the kill count on those 2 High Templar, but let's just say it was a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is, the SimCity actually working against LasT. He built the supply depot in a place that would help against Zealots early on. But with the Comsat coming in, the SCVs tried to run the only way they had, and nOOB put that storm in the perfect position. And now, just to confirm, I saw someone in chat was asking, is this STX LasT? It isn't, it's a different one. But nOOB is going up up to 3 forges right now. He is going insane on the upgrades, insane on the bases. And LasT is in such a weird position.
I mean, nOOB is really giving him the most opportunities he can to come back in the game. Anytime you devote so much to, all of this infrastructure, there's always the chance somebody just moves in and kills you. Unfortunately, that's really never been super likely because he has also made sure to contribute to having a very, very large army. It is all gateway units, and they only have +1 attack as their upgrade. Same thing as the Terran player. So maybe there's an opportunity to push here. But I think nOOB should be fine.
Yeah, the thing is, we see LasT with at least 1 control group of tanks, 1 control group of vultures, and he's desperately trying to make use of this terrain to push his way forward. But this is very, very optimistic. Like, this is the sort of move you make when you're desperate. You're like, can I pick off any units? Can I try and secure this base? And here's the problem with this move out. We see that nOOB has a big army. He's going to move around the Terran forces, and a lot of the forces not even sieged.
Yeah, besides that, there are observers here which will neuter the mines, and okay, maybe there's one Dragoon that had a little bit of rough pathing there, but for the most part, yeah, Noob is just in a fantastic spot. And this is exactly what you want to do as Protoss. You never want to put your
Oh no.
army between the opponent and your base.
Oh,
You always want
Storm.
to threaten, but oh no, oh no, no. Okay, well, there's no more SCVs anymore.
Yeah, this is going to be the last push by LasT. He is going to be up against an Arbiter, so he doesn't have that many scans even. And we see the, oh, nice Storm as well. GG! And nOOB is going to take down LasT and make this a 4-0 sweep for SouL here in the 3rd and 4th place match.
Wow, what a series, man! I did not expect it to be that one-sided, but in the end, I mean, you got to give it to SouL. They really put up very, very strong players, and we got a chance to really see each one of them showcase a very strong performance. I would say that Silky Game was what am I talking about? The what was the other one? Who's this the second series, the ZVZ?
Kenenzi versus Richley?
Yeah, richly. So that series actually had a lot of really cool back and forth. Some of the games were actually kind of one-sided, but that one was really back and forth and had some really cool moves. So overall, yeah, just congratulations to SouL. Very happy to see them come out in 3rd place. Feels a little bit sad to see Red drop down to 4th, but hey, they finished in the top 4 teams out of just a gigantic number of squads out there. So very impressive performance.
Yeah,
Nonetheless.
There was 13 teams in round 2, and there's going to be 16 in round 3. But let's have a look at how that played out just for the last time. It's going to be a 4-0 victory for SouL. Scan taking down Cryok, Richley taking down Cadenzi, Spire taking down Ku, nOOB taking down LasT. Now, of course, STPL still has a ways to go. This still isn't the end of round 2. There is one more round 2 game coming up, and that's going to be on Friday. That's going to be the final between NetWars and White Clan, and that should be insane.
Yeah, no, I can't even think about who will win that one. Obviously, NetWars is maybe an underdog because they are non-Korean, and I don't know what the lineup is for White Clan because they do have incredibly strong pro gamers on their team. But NetWars just astounds. It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Kicks. These guys are just so good. Now, like I said, I don't know what lineup the White Clan is fielding, and so that could definitely change our estimations of it.
Yeah.
So really, the only way that our viewers will be able to find that out is by tuning in on the day for the grand finals of round 2.
Yeah, now that's going to be on this Friday at 2100 CEST, same channel, so obviously same place. And round 3 will be starting up in 2 weeks' time. But that's not to say there's no STPL content next week, because there's going to be another set of show matches in the break. That's going to be on the round 3 maps. You may have seen them coming up, but we're going to introduce you to some of the newer teams once again. So if you're looking to find more STPL content, there is the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KicksSC. That has the 260-ish odd games we've had so far, and every future game will go on there as well. And if you're looking for STPL on Twitter, there is a new Twitter account, STPLTV, which has been spammed a couple of times by my Nightbot in chat.
Good old Nightbot helping us out. Also, the chat has been spammed by some very wonderful viewers, so a big thanks to everybody for coming out and tuning in. And if you're a viewer from another channel that was hosted in here, it's fun to have you here as well. Hopefully you will stick around and come back to watch the finals, because you picked a pretty good time to come into the lives of Kicks and I and the STPL. It's like in the end of Fight Club, where he says, "You met me at a very strange time in my life." I think that's very true here. But it is a very awesome time in the STPL, so you picked a good time to be here.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you guys on Friday. Have a very good evening, morning, afternoon, and night. And hurrah, I guess.